You mentioned this Monday when we were done with the pod, and we saw this last year a little bit. As the year went on, I was like, man, it's not quite as crisp for Dak Prescott.
Right.
It's just a little
I've
off.
seen better.
Yeah,
right.
we've seen better. And so you're a little disappointed with what Dak did. You hadn't looked at the tape yet.
Yeah.
Well, now you have.
Yeah.
And so when you looked at the tape, Dak, and of course it wasn't a great game for the Cowboys beating the Houston Texans by 4, but when you took a closer look at Dak and his actual throws throughout the game, what'd you see?
Yeah, it's a little bit of what I've been saying lately. When we hit it on Green Bay a few weeks ago, it's just again, it's not that it's bad. It's not bad. It's still good.
It may have actually been better than you were anticipating seeing.
I think so. Well, and I think the thing is I still see moments of going, that's who he is. Why aren't we doing that more? What's the deal here? There's just inconsistencies in this game right now. You take away the Minnesota game, nothing's been clean or easy for him as lately. I mean, he's thrown 7 interceptions in the last 5 games, and he threw none in the Minnesota game. So it's really 7 in 4 games. And to me, again, too, you know me, I'm not always the bottom line stat guy and all of that. But just even watching the game live on Sunday, when they would show replays of throws or whatever, I just go, man, ball just not coming out of his hand clean. A lot of not spinning wobbler type of balls. And then also just balls that are a little off the mark where they might be complete, but you go, oh man, if he hit that on stride, that guy's going to run for another 20 yards. So again, it's Dak. I want to make sure that I'm very clear about this. It's good, but I know what Dak's capable of. I've seen him have years and put together games where I just go, he's on fire. He's just striping it. He's throwing the ball amazing. Every time he throws the ball down the field, it's a completion. Boom. And right now, I feel like I'm seeing some throws that I go, a guy that's $45 million and there's a top 10-ish quarterback who I know can do this is not hitting on all cylinders right now. That's what was piquing my interest in the game.
So at Plug and Play 16 is seeing the same things. He goes, I think Dak has great command of the offense at the line of scrimmage, but every week I see him miss 3 to 5 throws and miss badly, mostly high. In your opinion, what is up with Dak's inconsistencies? Yeah. He won't get past the Niners or Eagles like that, which is like almost word for word from your notes.
Well, right? I mean, that's the point.
These homies are in your head
Thank you.
now.
That's where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be my homies. But at Plug and Play 16, you're right. And that's what the point I'm trying to make. It's not bad. You said it right. I'm holding them a standard. We're talking about the Cowboys Super Bowl. And this type of play, to my point, is not going to beat to our man's point here, is not going to beat the Eagles or the 49ers or the Bills or the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's just that's not going to get it done.
So why is it happening?
Well, I think the first thing is mechanics, and we've talked about this before. Dak falls, and I've had this conversation with Jason Garrett since he's been here, and Jason is verified. And I know, as I've told you before, I've talked about it with Dak, to know this is a little bit of a bad habit he kind of reverts into at times. And right now, he has I'm not going to stand up, but the front leg lockout, right? Your front leg should never be locked out. Never. And it gets toe right to the target, which is odd in itself. But that's okay. I mean, he's the only guy I know that's literally puts the big toe and points it almost like a dancer or a ballerina at his target, right? Mm-hmm. Most guys, you just get your body lined up and you kind of step, and it's more like your pinky toes at the target, and then you turn into the ball, and now after the throw, now your big toes hitting the target, right?
Right.
So that's usually what you see. But he gets that with the front leg lockout, and then added to that, it's anybody who's been listening to me, the creating of opposites, right? Between the upper and lower half. So front leg lockout and then 0 shoulder movement. So he gets like this, and then he just comes over the top of it because he's a big, strong man with some big hands, and he gets it done. But top throwers in football don't throw the football that way. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, their front leg never locks out, nor do they ever get way over the top of the ball, and they always get their front shoulder tucked in underneath their chin to the point where you see the nameplate on the back of their jersey when they're about to throw a football. Did that paint the picture the right way?
Yeah.
Right? So we're not getting that. And that, to me, is what I look at to be why the quality of the football is not what I have seen from Dak Prescott when he's really getting, kicking butt.
You mentioned that too, and a little wobble, always a little wobble in his throws. And I was thinking about that, and I think about some of the top quarterbacks, and Peyton Manning. I think I remember it's like he didn't throw a real tight spiral.
No, not always.
How much does that matter, and when does it matter for you?
Yeah, it makes it easier on the receiver. It does. When you throw spirals, it can just, again, it's less moving parts. You can focus kind of on the point of the ball, and as you look it into your hands, it just boom, and it sticks. And because it's spinning, it kind of digs its way into your hand, right? The ball that is kind of that wobbly and not spinning, it just hits your hand like a brick sometimes. You know what I mean? Where when Allen or Mahomes throw you one of those lasers, or Burrow or Herbert that is spinning like this, I mean, you almost like have to work to drop it. It's like literally like a drill. It's like coming right at your head, right? And it's just like boom. I gotta hold this there. So that's where it's good. But it makes it hard to catch that way. Makes it hard to pluck the ball out of the air that way. And usually, again, when the ball is wobbly like that, you're doing something mechanically off.
Yeah.
That's what history would tell you.
Good news for Dak, though, is that they have a very, very good running offense.
Yes, they do.
One of the better in the NFL.
Yes, they do.
We have a graphic on that. I will describe it to those who are just listening to this podcast while they're driving around. So total rush yards, and then rush yards by the quarterback. This is real interesting. So the Bears have the most total rush yards, but you got 37% from Justin Fields, right? So Ravens are second, but you got a lot from Lamar there, and Eagles there, but you got a lot from Hurts. And basically, it's every team. Browns you get a little bit, not much, 15% though. But then you go down there to the seventh most rush yards in the NFL. It's the Dallas Cowboys, only getting 5 from their quarterback.
Right.
Cooper Rush was not rushing a whole lot.
No.
Contrary to his name.
Seriously.
Cooper Pass.
That's propaganda. What fake bullshit is that?
Exactly, fake news, right? His name is fake news. But Dak doesn't do it either. And the two running backs here, you've been a staunch supporter of Tony Pollard getting more run, and you had maybe one of the best compliments I've seen in your notes for this whole year about Tony Pollard in this game.
Yeah, Tony Pollard's elite, right? And what did I write? I wrote that
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead. You read it. I
you go Tony
it.
Pollard
Yeah.
and Christian McCaffrey are the best dual threat running backs in the NFL.
Yeah. Because they're like in space, they're amazing. McCaffrey has more value and probably running between the tackles, but Pollard's no slouch. And that's the one thing when people are like, you want him to be the space guy, and I'm going to go, damn, he weaves his way through the trash, better than Zeke a lot of the times. I know he can't punish you and do that always. But then, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield from the true running back spot, or his ability to line up at receiver and run routes, I'm not going to say it's quite as good as McCaffrey, but it's receiver-ish regardless. It's to where you'd go, he runs routes like a receiver. This is not a running back where we're like, you do these 2 routes good. We don't want you to do anything else.
Right.
There's nothing Tony Pollard can't do that way. And again, I don't know. Am I missing somebody? Is there somebody? You know me. I write these things and I'm saying them because, I follow the game and I'm obsessed with it all the time, and I kind of write it just right off the top of my head there. But I don't think I'm wrong in that. I gave it a quick thought. Is there anybody that jumps off to you? Dalvin Cook is good at receiving the ball, but they don't use him in the receiving game a lot, right? But he is good at both. I get that. Is there anybody else I'm missing that you would throw in that conversation?
At the other end of the spectrum, you have Austin Eckler, who might be a better pass catcher than running back.
But that's true. He's in that conversation too. That's a good one. That's a good one by you. You're right. He'd be in that conversation with those guys. The same type of thing. Exactly right. Okay. So that's good. Aaron Jones, maybe another guy that I throw right back in that list there.
Good.
Right. So those would be 4 guys that I look as dual threats, equally as scary in the passing game as they are in the run game. And yes, Pollard is. I just still think they give the ball to Zeke too much. I do. And Zeke's good.
But having said that, having said that, you've said that before, and you're like, it's time to pass the torch to Tony Pollard. Having said that, in your notes, you go, Zeke's still good. You still like some things you see from Zeke.
He still moves well. He still can run with power. It's just there's a few runs every game where I sit there and go, I wish that was Pollard there. That would have been more exciting. It was a gain of 7, but Pollard might have split those two guys and gone for 60. That's the biggest thing. And to me, again, they can say all they want. They know Pollard's better. Anytime there's a big drive or a gotta-have-it moment, 20 is in the game. But they are still trying to kind of tote the line a little bit because Zeke he's a legend down there. He's the highest paid running back in the game. So they are playing up those politics too.
Yeah, and you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose him if he's a leader in that team.
He's got a lot of value to the team.
100%.
Exactly right. And there's no doubt. And again, I don't mean to always sound negative on Zeke. It's just I think Pollard is really damn good, and he's in the prime of his career. And that's where I root for it a little bit, or root for him.
So the Cowboys in 2 weeks, basically, faces the Eagles, but they got the Jaguars this weekend.
Yeah.
They're 4.5-point favorite, which is down from the 17.5 points they were favored against the Houston Texans. Could be a bit of a trap game, although you just had kind of a letdown game.
That's where it does help them from that standpoint, right? You won the trap game. So hopefully this wakes everybody up. This is the best way. To win the game, you probably should have lost.
Yeah.
So you don't have I can't believe we lost. We won the game, but then the coach can still go, hey, there's a lot of shit we got to improve. That wasn't good enough.
And the Jaguars were awesome
The
last
Jaguars
week.
They got talent. Yeah. They do. They're not, again, the Jaguars still young and all that, but they are not going to be physically outclassed by the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, boy. You're going to be picking the Jaguars.
Here we go, Jags.
Here we go again. A theme of the year. That's good. I think that basically sums up all your notes. But maybe one more thing, Columbo.
Well, I just wanted to end the last drive. We didn't hit on that.
Oh, that's right.
You're
right.
The last drive was special. Dak was special there. There was a big-time throw.
You're like, this is what I've been talking about.
That's my point. That's all I was trying to say. Like, I know this is what he can do. He's not doing that much lately, right? And I heard a few people start to go, we need to throw him in the class of Mahomes and Allen and Burrow. And I want to be like, wait, did you watch the rest of the game? You can't say that. Or the game before that, Or, it's lately has not been sharp to say that. But yeah, this guy's still a hell of a player. That was a big-time clutch moment after making, the mistake of the game where you think it's going to lose, and then you go down 98 yards for a touchdown. Pretty awesome. But to our man's point, plug and play 16, if they want to get where they want to get, it's got to be better from him.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.